Beginning, the strongest species didn't understand soft words. The galaxy had long agreed on one universal truth. The Ketheri were not cute. They were towering, plated beings born on a volcanic superworld where gravity bent steel and storms peeled mountains bare. Their bodies were tall and angular, their skin layered with iridescent armor-like scales that shifted color depending on emotion and heat. Their eyes, large, luminous, and faceted, were capable of seeing across multiple spectra. They were warriors, tacticians, and rulers. They were also feared. For nearly 4 centuries, the Ketheri Dominion had controlled entire sectors of space through strength, discipline, and an unshakable belief that emotion was a weakness best burned away in youth. At the top of that society stood Commander Evelyn Tereth. She was young by Ketheri standards, yet already legendary. She had broken siege lines thought impenetrable. She had defeated rivals twice her mass. She commanded fleets without raising her voice. Her presence alone could silence a hull, which was why no one noticed the human at first. Aaron Cole wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a diplomat. He wasn't even supposed to be on the Ketheri flagship, Barkesh Prime. He was an engineer, assigned through an interspecies exchange program meant to foster technical cooperation between humans and more advanced civilizations. In reality, it meant humans were sent where no one else wanted to work. The Ketheri did not trust outsiders, especially humans. Too emotional, too expressive, too unpredictable. Aaron had been warned repeatedly. Do not joke.
Do not compliment.
Do not use informal language. Do not comment on appearance. He followed those rules carefully. At first. Middle. The moment everything went wrong. Esselin first noticed Aaron because he didn't flinch. Most non-Ketheri avoided eye contact, kept their posture low, and spoke only when spoken to. Aaron stood straight, worked quietly, and treated her armor like machinery rather than a holy relic. That alone made him strange. She observed him from elevated platforms as he repaired energy conduits that even Ketheri technicians struggled with. His hands were steady, his focus complete. When challenged, he explained his reasoning calmly, never defensively. Over weeks, she found herself scheduling inspections during his shifts, not because she needed to,
because she wanted to.
Aaron noticed her too. He noticed the subtle color changes in her scales, how deep blues indicated calm, while faint gold flecks appeared when she was curious. He noticed how she stood closer to him than others, how her voice softened when she asked questions directly rather than issuing commands. But he told himself it was nothing. Until the day the coolant system failed. They were alone in a maintenance chamber when a surge nearly overloaded the reactor. Aaron reacted instinctively, pulling Esselin out of the way before a blast of superheated vapor scorched the platform. She landed hard. He landed on top of her. For one long, impossible moment, the galaxy held its breath. Ketheri protocol demanded immediate separation. Human instinct did not. Aaron looked down at her, eyes wide, scales flushed a bright, unfamiliar shade. And without thinking, without filtering, without remembering a single warning, he said it. Wow, you're actually kind of a cute woman when you're surprised. Silence. Absolute, catastrophic silence. Esselin froze. Then her skin shifted. From iridescent silver to bright, unmistakable red. Ketheri did not blush. Except she just had. Aaron realized his mistake instantly. Commander, I didn't mean. I did, but not like, I'm sorry. She pushed him off her with more force than necessary and stood rigid, eyes glowing. He waited for arrest, for exile, for execution. Instead, she turned away and said nothing. Middle, a word that shouldn't exist. For 3 days, Esselin avoided him. Her officers noticed her agitation. Her scales shifted color more frequently. She snapped at minor inefficiencies and dismissed advisors early. The word echoed in her mind. Cute. Cathari language had words for strong, deadly, efficient, dominant. It had no word for cute. She researched it in human databases. Small, endearing, invoking warmth, affectionate. None of those aligned with how the galaxy saw her. None of those aligned with how she saw herself. And yet, when she remembered the moment, his expression, his genuine surprise, the absence of fear, something inside her felt lighter. She summoned him on the fourth day. Aaron entered the chamber prepared for the worst. "You spoke without intent," she said. "Yes, ma'am. You used a word meant to diminish." "I swear I didn't mean it that way." She turned to face him. Her scales were a soft, shimmering rose. "Explain." He swallowed. "Where I'm from, calling someone cute isn't about making them small. It's about liking them, feeling safe around them, wanting to smile." Her chest tightened. No one had ever associated her with safety. "Do you see me as small?" she asked. "No," he said immediately. "I see you as terrifyingly powerful, but also kind and curious. And yeah, beautiful in a way that caught me off guard." Her breath hitched. That night, she did not dismiss him. When power meets gentleness. Their conversations changed. They spoke after duty cycles, about Earth, about Cathari upbringing, about the cost of being strong all the time. Aaron learned that Cathari children were trained from infancy to suppress emotional response. Esselin learned that humans expressed affection casually and survived because of it. She asked him questions no one else ever had. What does it feel like to be held without purpose? Why do humans laugh when afraid? Is vulnerability always a weakness? One evening, as they watched stars drift past the viewport, she asked quietly, "Would you still call me cute if others heard?" He smiled softly. "Yes." Her scales turned red again. Word spread. The commander was changing. She spared defeated enemies. She listened before striking. She allowed art aboard warships. And always the human engineer was nearby, not above her, not below her, but beside her. When a rival Cathari general challenged her authority, accusing her of being compromised by alien softness, Esselin accepted a public duel. The entire fleet watched. She won decisively, but instead of killing him, she offered mercy. Gasps echoed. She turned to Aaron in the crowd. He smiled. Her scales flushed crimson. Ending, strength redefined. The Dominion Council convened weeks later. They expected explanations. They expected justification. What they received was declaration. "I am still strong," Selin said. "But strength without compassion is merely endurance. I will not rule through fear alone." Silence followed. Then acceptance. Change had come to the Cathari, and it began with a word no one thought mattered. Later, in a quiet chamber far from command decks and observers, Esselin stood before Aaron. "I have studied your language further," she said. "There are many words I do not yet understand." "Any you want help with?" he asked. She stepped closer. "Yes." She hesitated, then said softly, "Call me that word again." He blinked. "Cute." She nodded. He smiled gently. "You're a cute woman." Her scales turned the brightest red yet, and she smiled back. Not as a commander, not as a symbol, but as herself.